to another edition of the Big Preview. My name is Oluwamayowa, I'm the host, and I have two juggernauts here that will be previewing their game over the weekend. We have somebody supporting Chelsea, and we have Colin supporting Chelsea, and we have Solomon supporting Arsenal. Solomon and Collins, good morning. How you guys doing? Let me start with Collins. Collins, good morning. How you doing?
Yeah, good morning, Mario. I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. Solomon, how you doing?
I'm very well. Good morning, Mr. Mayo. Good morning, Collins. I'm very well, thank you. Good to
Yeah,
be on the show.
yeah. Good morning. No time to waste. Let's get into it. I mean, we all know that there's a big game coming up over the weekend. And as we do here regularly, we do the big match preview. And one of the big match of the weekend is Chelsea versus Arsenal. Collins is a huge Chelsea supporter. He has claimed that Chelsea is the biggest club in London. They've won everything. While Arsenal, on the other hand, it's been over 22 years that they won the EPL, and their luck in Europe has been, has not been that bright. They've not won anything in Europe, and as it is now, they can only boast of, coming second 3 times in a row under Enike Arteta. So let me start with Collins. What are you expecting in this particular game, owing to the fact that Liam Rossmere has not been having it fantastic in the last couple of games? They've lost points from a winning position. The first one 2-0. They end up drawing that particular game against Burnley. Everybody thought they would win. They end up drawing that particular game, and it seems the new coach bounce as traded. I mean, what do you make, and what are you expecting in this particular game?
I'm expecting two competitive sides to play football. You understand? I'm expecting us to do better than Tottenham did last weekend because what happened last weekend was also a London derby, and what my brothers did, I really don't understand what they did because I don't know how you lose 4-1 at home. Because so I expect a better game than what Spurs did last week. I expect us to give Arsenal a challenge. You understand? It's not going to be easy. There's this time they use underdogs. I don't think we're the underdogs in this situation. We are the under of the underdogs. I don't know if there's the word like that. You understand? Beneath the underdogs is what we are because this Arsenal team, they are very hungry. You understand? Especially if Man City wins today. The pressure and everything is going to make these guys want to roast us alive, bro. What am I expecting? I'm expecting a competitive game because Chelsea under Liam Rossmere. Honestly, I love the football. Let me ignore the indiscipline. Let me ignore the fact that we'll be 2 goals up, 1 goal up, and we'll end up drawing the game or losing the game. You understand? No, not really. We're not lost under this guy in the league, so we're not losing the game. We end up drawing the game. Besides that, I love the football. The football is promising. You understand? Like I said before, um, his play style is awesome. So I expect him to bring this mentality. I expect him to bring this challenge to Arsenal. You understand? Let's give them a run for their money. You understand? If they want to win the league, let them hustle for it. Let them work for it. You understand? Let's give them a challenge because even we are looking for top 4. You understand? We want to play Champions League next season. I'm tired of. I don't want to go back to Conference League or Europa League. You understand? I love the big dog. You understand? I love the big competition. You understand? So we just saw for Villa drop point, which is very good. You understand? Now it's up to Manchester United and Chelsea to try to move forward. You understand? And now our opponent is Arsenal. So I'm expecting a very wonderful game. I don't expect Chelsea to give him easy. Understand? I don't expect Arsenal to go easy on us either. So it's going to be fun, very interesting match. That's what I'm expecting.
Okay, I'm Solomon. I mean, Collins has said a whole lot. I don't think I'm sensing any confidence in his team. He seems to be doubting what his team can do. What do you expect in the game? And coming from the fact that yes, a lot of people, I myself expected Tottenham to pose a bigger challenge last week. They were able to do it because of in the couple of minutes in the first half. They were able to do it because of a mistake from from Declan Rice. But after that, with this Tottenham play, what do you expect from your team? Arsenal, owing to the fact that they are under a whole lot of pressure, and Man City is playing first today before your game tomorrow against Chelsea.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Marawa, for that question. As it is, you expect nothing short of a beautiful football. Compared to the first leg where there was so much intensity, it wasn't as fluid as you would have expected. And of course, Caicedo having to, receive a red card in that match, you would expect something different this time around. Now, you say that you don't expect that Tottenham would not, but Tottenham would never pose a problem would never be an issue for Arsenal because of, as it is, they are one of the poorest teams in the English Premier League this season. And as we've reiterated, or as we've said over time, they have a lot of players who are out injured, right? So that is always going to affect their style of play, and the players that they can bring on to face an Arsenal side that is stacked with with players, with quality players. And that's the difference, and that's what's going to make the difference in the match against Chelsea tomorrow. The quality of players that Arsenal can bring on, to close out the game. To close out the game. We saw it happen against Tottenham in the last match. Gabriel Jesus did not play. We also did not have Kai Havertz on the bench. Mikel Merino is out injured. Piero Nkapie, comes in for Ricardo Calafiori, but you see the way he's able to defend and he's still also able to go forward. And that's why I say that you would see something different, something exceptional. Arsenal have quality players, and beyond the quality players that we have, we're also coming from a bounce. There is no way you win a North London derby in such fashion and you're not going into the next match with a lot of confidence. We won the North London derby with so much ease, a brilliant performance from Gyökeres and Eberechi Eze, and we are coming into this match with so much confidence. Also, you know very well that the records are there to speak for themselves, and we have a very good record, not just against Chelsea, but in the Emirates Stadium. So if you put all of these things together, of course, you expect a game of beautiful football. As I said it's not going to be easy. Chelsea have set up differently in the past 3 matches, in the last 3 matches that we played. Right, that's the first leg of the English Premier League and the 2 legs in the EFL Cup. And I expect that they would want to try something different as well in tomorrow's game. But Arsenal has the quality to go all the way to win the match. Thank you very much.
Well, you said something, and I'm still sticking with you, and I'll go back to Collins later. I mean, you said something about the fortress you have been able to build at the Emirates Stadium. If you would recall, Arsenal has not lost a very long while at the Emirates Stadium. A Manchester United and underperformed Manchester United side under a Carrick when they and got the victory. Don't you think this and that's an avenue for Chelsea to also believe that they can always also get a victory there? That's the first leg of the question. The second leg of the question that I'm still going to go to Collins to ask is this: where do you think Arsenal will win that particular game? Because I mean, it seems you are confident that Arsenal wins this particular game.
Okay, thank you very much. So the first leg of the question is Manchester United coming in to defeat Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. I'll give you the stats. Arsenal have played 13 matches at home this season, right? And Arsenal have won 10 of those matches. 10 of those matches at home. The 3 matches that Arsenal have managed to draw points, one against Liverpool, which ended in a stalemate, 0-0. The second one against Manchester City, a draw 1-1 as well. And then the last one is, of course, as you mentioned, Manchester United defeating Arsenal 3-2. Now, I keep telling people that that match against Manchester United is an anomaly. It's not something that you see happen regularly in the Arsenal Football Club, especially at Emirates Stadium. Losing control of the ball, not able to have the control of the midfield as we would to, players playing under quite a lot of pressure. Even Mikel Arteta has to tell them to calm down at some point. So what happened against Manchester United is an anomaly. It's not something that you'd expect, and it's not something that I personally would expect in the next round of fixtures, considering what is at stake, right? As you say, as we all know, Manchester City are playing against Leeds today, and if they win, of course, there's going to be a considerable amount of pressure on Arsenal to be able to get over the line tomorrow. And judging by our performance, and what we have for us at the moment, I do not think that what happened against Manchester United is going to repeat itself again tomorrow. And the second one, where exactly are we going to win the match? First off, we have a brilliant defense, right? Bar the errors that have happened in recent matches, we have a brilliant defense. Christian Mascara, that boy is talented. He can always come on to play in any line of defense. He played right back against Tottenham in the last match. After Timber was substituted, that defensive lineup is brilliant. However, I would like to say that for us to be able to win this match, we need the presence of Eze or Odegaard and creating the space for Victor Gyökeres. If you watch the match against Tottenham, you realize that Gyökeres, he had his best performance in an Arsenal shirt, and it's simple. It's easy to see why he had enough space. Look at the first goal against Tottenham. He had space. If you check the statistics, if you check the records throughout the season, Gyökeres is probably one of the strikers who has the least amount of space to be able to perform this season. This amount of space. But look at the match against Tottenham. He had so much space. We played to his strength. The open plays that were given to him, you see how he was able to manage the ball and hit the ball and score goals that are so beautiful. So if you would ask me, I'd say that we need the presence of someone like Eze or Odegaard who is able to create that space for Gyökeres to perform and do wonders up front.
Yeah, Collins. I mean, like I asked. I mean, Solomon is very confident that and Arsenal will win that particular game. And while asking this question, I will take you back to the case of Sunderland. Sunderland has not lost at home all season. Liverpool went there, they won, and the next game against Fulham, they lost again. We saw Man United go to the Emirates and defeat Arsenal there. Don't you? And Solomon is a bit confident that lightning cannot strike twice. So for you, do you think it's a winnable game for Chelsea? That's number one. Number two, where do you think Chelsea will win that particular game? Also, why looking at that, how do you address the indiscipline that we have seen so far ruin a whole lot of game for the Chelsea side?
Okay, yes. The first question is if I think Chelsea can win, right?
Yes.
Okay, yes. 100%, I think Chelsea can win. Someone mentioned something. He said anomaly that Man U winning is. Do you know what else is an anomaly? Eberechi is a scoring hat trick. First leg against Spurs, second leg 2 goals. That's total of 5 goals. And between these games, he didn't score. Like he didn't score in any other game except Crystal Palace. That let's say he mostly scored in London derbies, right? So he has a total of 6 games in London derbies this season. Meanwhile, he has not scored in normal games. That's also an anomaly. You understand? That's to show that these guys.
That's interesting.
That's to show that this guy's chain is fake. You understand? So
sorry. What did you say? You said it's fake. What did you say?
His chain is fake. His chain is fake. Like
okay, his chain is fake. Interesting.
Exactly. Like yeah. So because prior to this game versus Spurs, people he was getting all this backlash and people and he was underperforming and all of that. You understand? Then he scored this. I was not even surprised because I saw Spurs. I mean, it's Spurs. You understand? Just trying to have Victor Gyökeres has 8 goals this season. He guys goal scorer this year. 2006. Now that's good. That's impressive. So I see all these things are just they just happen. They are not consistent. When I look at Arsenal are good. You understand? I've always said that Arsenal play the best football in the Premier League. You understand? The way they set up, the way they do. The people call them corner SC and all of that, but they are really good. You understand? But Chelsea has the power to suffocate them. We saw what happened in the first leg, right? I don't think they believe what hit them that first leg. You understand? We took the red card. You understand? I said with that nasty challenge, we took the red card and we still played them like we were complete. You understand? We even took the lead before we lost it. You understand? So all these things that I feel like Arsenal will have to play against 2 things that they have to play against us mentally and they have to play against us physically. You understand? Especially if Man City win today. You understand? I feel like they have this mental pressure to overcome, and even if they are at home, you understand, they'll still have to play us like they are in Stamford Bridge. because it will not be easy. Chelsea will not make it easy for them. Chelsea will not make it easy for them. Caicedo is back. Caicedo is back. Palmer is back. Joao Pedro is in very fantastic form. Captain Fantastic Chris James is very great. You understand? I feel like the only person we are lacking now is Cucurella and Fofana. But that's not a problem because Josh can still step up. I don't really like Tosin, but no, I'm not going to mention Tosin. I'm going to mention Sa. You understand? So these players are still there to step up. You understand? And these are things that I see that, especially if it's James. I mentioned it yesterday that if it's James face up on the wrong side of the bed, Arsenal in trouble. You understand? Because this guy is somebody that can take it upon himself to say, today I just want to spoil Arsenal parade. You understand? And if he does that, Arsenal are not leaving their home with even with a point. You understand? Because this is the guy that can do everything. And once the captain is charged, the whole team is charged. You understand? Once the captain is charged, the whole team is charged. So yes, I see Chelsea winning. I think we can win. You understand? If everything goes according to plan, because like I said before, I love Chelsea's game plan. I love Chelsea's playing style under this guy. You understand? The results may not be telling the whole story because of indiscipline and giving up leads. But the play style is a sign that yes, this guy knows what he's doing. You understand? So what's the second question, please?
No, no. I mean, you that covers it. But I want to go to Solomon. Um, we know how important Wesley Fofana is, especially for the defense of Chelsea. Wesley Fofana not being there is going to be a great miss. The last time Chelsea had a terrible result, some people were calling for the end of Tosin Adarabioyo because Tosin had a terrible game. And I think it was the game against Leeds where they were leading 2-0 and ended up drawing 2-2. Tosin Adarabioyo had a very terrible game. Now there is no Wesley Fofana. Does that not play into the hands of Arsenal? And Collins also mentioned something that you know Arsenal will be battling on two fronts. There is this mental pressure of delivering on that particular day, and also there's the pressure of Man City. Should Man City win today? And remember, if you have come third, if you have come second 3 times in a row, and it seems like you are about coming, second again the fourth time, does that not play into your psyche? How does Arsenal, get out of this mindset to be able to approach this game in a winnable way?
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Mayowa. First off, I quickly want to address what Colin said when he started talking. He said that Eberechi Eze has scored in only London derbies. Oh, thank
Yes.
you very much for that statistics, because tomorrow in the London derby, the London derby tomorrow. Thank you very much. You just go see, you already get the points. That's it.
So
Thank you very
Eberechi
much.
is scoring, right?
You already get the points. Thank you very much.
Let me start taking notes.
You already get the point. Now, yes, the thing. Yes, it is true that the mentality of Arsenal will play a huge role in the match tomorrow. And as we mentioned, especially because Man City are playing Leeds today. Now, if Man City draw or loses to Leeds United, which I hope they do, because Leeds have a fantastic record at home, right? I think it's only Arsenal or one or two other teams that have defeated them at home, right? Now, Leeds have a brilliant record at home too. If they're able to step up against Man City today, I believe that there's an upset coming in that match, right? If they are able to step up, if they're able to, come up and upset Man City. That said, look at the game against Aston Villa, the match where Arsenal lost 2-1 to Aston Villa at Aston Villa Stadium, right? At the end of that match, when that goal went in, did you see the reaction of Arsenal players? It felt as though they had lost the trophy.
True,
Everyone
true,
was,
true.
banging the floor, disheveled. Everyone was, just sacked, discouraged. You could literally tell that the emotions were negative on all fronts, right? But how did Arsenal bounce back against Aston Villa? 4-1 in the Emirates Stadium.
Well, that's
Four
true.
goals to
That
one.
happened.
See, let me tell you something. It gets to a point where you see that we've done this before, right? We know what is at stake. We know what we are up against. I would not expect that Mikel Arteta and the boys right now, with the level of quality that is at hand, and what is at stake, there will be a repeat of what happened against Chelsea in the first leg. Mind you, I think need to say something. In the first leg, yes, Chelsea were a man down, but you would realize that about 3 of our 4 players, I think Saliba, Timber, and Calafrio, were on a yellow card.
True. True.
So it was not even going to be possible for us to play out well the way we would want to play, because you know very well that any mistake whatsoever, of course, is going to lead to red, right?
True.
So
True.
Arsenal were much more cautious in that match, which made it look like, which made it possible for Chelsea to be able to go all out, and because we obviously had red card, they were at home as well. You can never take away the home advantage
True.
from such club with such elite mentality and all of those things. So yes, the match will be a mental match, and if Arsenal are able to win that, especially I think that tonight's match, that's the match against Manchester City and Leeds, is going to play a huge role in how Arsenal are going to approach the match tomorrow. I believe so, right? But I also know that Arsenal have been able to overcome, for instance, I'll give you a very good example. Last season, Newcastle defeated us 3 times out of 4 times.
Yeah, that's true.
They beat us twice in the EFL Cup, defeated us at home. But guess what? We came this season and look at what we did to them at St. James Park. You see that for every team that has taken away points from Arsenal, Arsenal comes back and do what? And win. Last season it was Man City, 2-2 first leg. Guess what happened in the second leg? 5-1. Right?
But against Wolves this season you didn't do that. The 2 games ended
Oh,
in
but
draws.
against Wolves this season, we won
You,
our
you,
first
you didn't do
leg.
that.
We won our first leg 2-1.
Did you win or it was a draw? I thought it ended 1-1.
It was 2-1. They scored all home goals. We scored two. We won
Oh,
2-1
okay.
in the first. We won 2-1 in the first leg. So for every team, the only team that has taken away points from us home and away this season is Liverpool.
Okay, well that's true.
Is Liverpool.
That's true. That's true.
Sunderland 2-0. We defeated them 3-0 in the second leg. So I'm saying that we've seen how Arsenal can play. We've seen that yes, they've come up against tough oppositions either in the first leg, but then when it comes to the second leg, you see the way they set up. The EFL Cup is also there to see. Defeated them at home 3-2, and look at the way we set up in the second half, in the second leg, ensuring that they have no pattern of play going up front to be able to cause damage, and then we eventually won 1-0. So again, Arsenal have the right history backing them up based on matches that we've seen last season and this season. So they know exactly what to do going into the match. And you did ask about Wesley Fofana. Now, in my own opinion, I genuinely think that Wesley Fofana is Chelsea's best defender.
Definitely.
In my opinion,
Definitely.
I think
Definitely.
Fofana is Chelsea's best defender. Chaloba on a good day can also be because of problem to the striker. Another person, of course, will not take away his qualities. Mark Cucurella. Cucurella is also a fantastic defender. I won't take that away from him. He's a fantastic defender. But now that Wesley Fofana is out, who exactly is going to replace him? Is it Tosin Adarabioyo? Is it Benoit Badiashile? There's no other person.
Maybe
I don't think
maybe
it will be close.
maybe Collins will play today. Maybe they will draft in Collins today.
I think it won't be bad. I don't even think Levy Curry is present either, right? So the quality of defense of defensive lineup that Chelsea is going to set up with will affect the game. There's no doubt about that. And now bear in mind that Victor Gyökeres has found his feet. I need you to bear in mind that he has found his feet. If you watch the matches that Victor Gyökeres has played in this year,
No, but Solomon, hold on. You said he has found his feet. He has only just
yes,
got 8 goals. He has only just got eight goals. How do you hold on? How do you have that kind of a signing? And in 28 games, you've only scored 80 PL goals. I mean,
oh, bear in mind that
is that a definition of finding your feet? I mean, 8 goals for that amount.
Mr. Mayowa, who is the highest goal scorer in the league this year?
Haaland, if I'm not mistaken.
This year, not throughout the season. This year.
Oh, this
It's
year,
Victor
I don't know.
It's different.
It's Victor.
What I'm saying is, you know what? He has. When I say he has found his feet, it is beyond the. Of course, the goals are important. That is why we bought him. We need the goals, right? But in terms of his overall play, You see the way he's able to hold up defense. And when he's able to hold up defense, what happens is he's able to release Eze and Saka. We saw it in the match against Tottenham. You saw the way his link-up play is now different. You can see that now he feels more attached to the players than in at the start of the season, right? And at the start of the season, it's quite normal, it's quite understandable that that would happen because he's coming in from Sporting Lisbon, and in an Arsenal team that to a large extent have not used any strikers in recent years. Gabriel Jesus has been out for over a year, or for a year or thereabout. Mikel Merino is a defensive midfielder who comes in to strike, right? Havertz was also injured. So now we have a striker that we are playing to his strength. And the defensive lineup of Chelsea without Wesley Fofana has no backbone to be able to hold up the strength of Victor Gyökeres. So I
Hold on.
believe that was a huge problem to Chelsea in tomorrow's match.
Yeah, so Solomon has hammered on the defensive, pairings of Chelsea. Fofana is not there. Cucurella, who is also a fantastic player, is not there. We know Tosin Adarabioyo is shaky. Chalobah has not been regular for Chelsea. So if you are Liam Rosner, how do you set up your defense against an Arsenal side? And I mean, you also agree. In as much as I want to disagree, but I mean, you are correct. In 2026, Gyökeres is the leading goal scorer. However, overall, the performance has been poor in terms of delivering of goals. According to Solomon, Gyökeres is back. How do you set up your defense to counter a Gyökeres that we saw what he could do against the Tottenham last week? And also remember there's an Eberechi, according to what you said, that scores in London games. And this is a London game. So how do you set up your defense against them now?
Thank you for that, Mr. Mario. Solomon has said a lot, and he has. I think he has forced my hand. He wants to make me say this. Remember when I praised Arsenal's playing style? I've always praised Arsenal play because someone like me, I'm going to be honest with you, and these guys know how to play football. You understand? Yeah, you can see the improvement from last two seasons, and all of that. You understand? But now I'm going to sit here and mention Arsenal attackers. I may miss some, but I'll try. There's Trossard, there's Martinelli, there is Saka, there's Noni Madueke, there's Eberechi Eze, there's Gabriel Jesus, there's Havertz that just came back from injury, there is Gyökeres, there is how many is that now? That's the 8 now, right?
I mentioned 8.
Okay. I want to take them to 10. I think there is who have I not mentioned? What's the name of this guy?
No, he has mentioned Madueke.
I've mentioned Madueke. Okay, my point now is that you see, can you see these names?
Yeah,
can you see these names?
8 big names.
Top names, right? 8 big names. You expect a team like Arsenal that have all these 8 big names, you understand? They should have multiple ways to destroy you as a team, right? They should have numerous ways, you understand? If plan A doesn't work, plan B should work, and if plan B doesn't work, plan C should work because of this firepower they have. But you see Arsenal depending on corner kicks.
Okay, thank you very much. I see
Arsenal.
But corner kick is part of the game.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Let me
interject on that. Arsenal, listen.
Solomon, 1 minute. Okay, to call this 1 minute. Solomon, go ahead.
Arsenal are the second team with the most open play goals in the league this season. Why is nobody talking about set pieces?
But sorry. Solomon, hold on, just hold on. But Collins, if you talk about set piece, Manchester United has also benefited from set pieces. And if you are talking about set piece, it doesn't rely on corner alone. Manchester United, some of their goals, they've scored 50 goals this season, and 20 out of those goals, if I'm not mistaken, is from set pieces. So are you saying Manchester United is also corner FC? Yeah, Solomon, yes.
Have you seen Brentford's throwing? Have you seen the way Brentford set up to take throw-ins?
That's true.
The way Brentford set up. And beyond, let me tell you something. Beyond, let's not even talk about Brentford. Let's focus on Arsenal now. You say that Arsenal, with all the firepower up front, they do not have a way to Do you know that this season Zubimendi has scored the highest goal in his career so far? Throughout the time he was at Real Sociedad, Zubimendi has scored the most goals in his career this season. Where did he score the most goals in his career? Arsenal. Mikel Merino is absent, so I can't even talk about the statistics. But if you talk about Arsenal having different options as to how to score, my brother, there's own goal. I'm not even ashamed.
I was, I was, I was, I was, I was, I was heading somewhere when I.
If Arsenal are not playing so well, the own goal won't occur. One, if we do not create chances, the set pieces won't also occur.
Hold on. Hold on, Solomon. Kelly said he was going somewhere. Collins, go ahead. Solomon, I'm coming back to you. Yeah, Collins, I'm listening to you. You said you were going somewhere. Yes.
Okay. I was, like I said, I was going somewhere. Okay. I mentioned. Remember, Mr. Mario mentioned something about Manchester United, and
Yes.
I think Manchester United, they are not the only team that has the most. I think Spurs and West Ham are up there too, you understand? But remember, before I started mentioning this, I mentioned the number of attackers and the caliber of attackers that I had.
Yes,
That's the first thing I did. That was the first thing I did. No other team in the Premier League have this. Even if you want to measure the numbers, let's measure the quality. You understand? Okay, that's the first thing I did. Now, I said for a team like that has this, and they are relying on, yeah, corner kicks are part of the game, but isn't it disappointing when your only result, you understand, the only way you went on other options, the point is that they don't even have the options. Normally you say maybe all other options are filled. They don't have the options. You understand? The options are there, but they are not utilizing them. You understand? But I'm not going to put the blame on them, because corner kicks is what is working to their strength, and they are utilizing, they are making the best use of it, and that's good, that's fine. You understand? Now, the question was, how will Chelsea set up to utilize this, right? Victor Gyökeres is the hottest striker this year. You understand? He has scored 8 goals this year. You understand? Hottest striker. That's very fantastic. Now, how do we see? We don't even need to do much. Honestly, I look at I've watched Victor play. Yes, he played against Spurs and he was playing like Merlin, but that was Spurs. These guys are terrible. They've not won a game this season.
Well, that's correct.
This season.
That's correct.
You understand? So if Chelsea if I'm Spurs, I'm telling you that if I organize some boys now, 5 aside, will be Spurs. You understand? Because Spurs are terrible. You understand? Now, how do we set up against Arsenal?
Yes.
If it's Victor, I'm not worried about Victor. I'm telling you,
why are you not worried? The person that has scored the highest goal in 2026, why are you not worried?
Exactly. He has scored. You know, all those, the fact that we have just put him in 2026 is making it a fluke already. Are you getting me?
Okay.
Making it a fluke already. I saw a post on Twitter. Somebody was like, because Victor is just like 2 goals behind Joao Pedro, and somebody was like trying to use like the gotcha moments that Victor Gyökeres is trying to use. I was like, are you high? Do you know what you bought this guy? I am telling you that you are not ashamed that Victor and Joao Pedro, they are dragging goals. Even Joao Pedro is ahead of him. I am trying to use it as, do you know what you bought this guy? You understand? Anyhow, somebody will say this is the first season, this one. What is that? You understand? Now, how do we set up? Victor, I feel like we don't even need to normally, if it was under Maresca, you understand? What Maresca would have done, maybe all their sorry about that.
Yeah, go ahead. No problem.
If it was under Maresca, all their corner keys, Maresca would just use zonal marking. We never stress it, we don't use zonal marking. But under this guy, Liam, you understand? He doesn't use zonal anything. He doesn't use any, you understand? So he just sometimes goes man to man. You understand? And if you try to go man to man against Arsenal, maybe doing their set pieces or free kicks or things like that, if it goes man to man, Chalobah will be on Victor.
Okay, so Chalobah is playing. Like Chalobah be on Victor. Okay.
Yeah, Chalobah will be on Victor, and Chalobah right now is decent. You understand? Against Burnley, he was very good. You understand? So they brought in this guy, this I'm not going to call him handicap, but they brought in Tosin, and so if Chalobah enough for Victor is not to neutralize him. Now let's talk about Saka. Let's talk about I don't know if it's Trossard that's going to play. I don't know if it's Martinelli. I don't know if it's is I don't know who's going to play, but we all know Saka is going to play, right? Saka is going to play. Saka is going to play, and Starboy. I'm one of the few people that don't really fear that guy. I don't fear him.
But
I feel like
if you look at his performance last week, I also sorry. Before I go ahead, I want to also say something. Solomon, correct me if I'm wrong, Solomon, and this is for Collins. Last week when they were playing Tottenham, they scored 4 goals. I don't think any set piece was part of that 4 goals, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
None.
No.
They practically worked their way into scoring those goals. So I mean, in as much as I myself will fault them for how they score set pieces in terms of corner kicks, they scored 4 goals without
what I said.
Yeah.
Remember what I said about Tottenham. Anything against Tottenham doesn't count. I'm telling you that Tottenham have not won a game this season.
So okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Mawa. Let me comment. Now he has mentioned that is Tottenham. That's fine. You have spent much more time talking about Arsenal than you talk about how you guys are going to set up, but that's fine. We know that you are a fan. We give you. Don't worry. It's fine. Now, I'll give you the start. You lost 3-1 to Leeds away from home, right?
Yes.
Chelsea lost 3-1 to Leeds away from home. At home, Chelsea drew 2-2 to Leeds.
After leading 2-0.
After losing 2-0, do you know that Arsenal put 8 past that same Leeds side?
I'm shocked.
That's the Leeds side. That's not all. You drew 2-2 to Bournemouth. You drew 0-0 to Bournemouth again, dropping points against the same team. Arsenal has defeated this team, right? You lost to Fulham. Arsenal defeated Fulham. You drew Newcastle. Arsenal defeated Newcastle. You drew Crystal Palace. Arsenal defeated. So listen. Let me tell you something.
But hold on. But that was under Enzo Maresca. This is under Liam Rosner. Liam Rosner has not lost any game. He has played 6, won 4, draw 2.
Mr. Mayowa, the 2 matches that Liam Rosner has lost in his tenure now.
No, draw, not lost, draw.
I know. That's in the Premier League. In the EPL, he has not lost any match. That's fine. But the matches that he has lost in his Chelsea career now, they came against who? Mikel Arteta.
Well, that's true. That's correct.
Yes, we can say that that's the EFL Cup. Yes, we can say that that's we can say that that's the EFL Cup, right? You say you do not fear Saka. That's fine. You do not think that Gyökeres is. That's fine. We bought him for a lot of money. He's competing against.
But it's correct. 28 games, 8 goals. It's correct.
Mr. Mayowa, name 5 strikers in the English Premier League right now that are better than Erling Haaland.
Well, nobody's ahead of Erling Haaland, so I mean, Erling Haaland is number 1 at the moment.
In fact, right now, as it stands, if you mention top 5 strikers without Victor Gyökeres, you are wrong.
Hold on. Are you saying in 2026? Hold on, Solomon. Hold on. Wait. I want to get something clear. Are you saying in 2026 or in the course of 28 games? Because you said in the course of 28 games.
Yes, in the course of the season. Because of the season.
Yeah, if you are talking about the course of the season, Gyökeres is not there. Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Erling Haaland, Igor Thiago, and I think maybe Joao Pedro are the only 3 players that are ahead of Victor Gyökeres this season.
But that's a Chelsea guy, and it's not as costly as Gyökeres.
Is it the cost that we're looking at? Okay, let's go to Alexander Isak. If we're looking at cost,
let's not go there.
Alexander Isak, before his injury, did he not play?
Well, that's true. He was playing. Well, that's true.
And in the English Premier League.
Well, that's true.
Something. Florian Wirtz. Let's talk about cost. Florian Wirtz. What has he done for Liverpool?
No, let's leave that one. Let's focus on Chelsea. Now,
so what I am saying is this: you do not fear Gyökeres, that's fine. You do not fear Saka, that's fine. But again, bear in mind the quality of team that Arsenal has. It is not so much more about our players that are coming on now. Not just the first 11. Of course, the first 11 play a huge role in that. But think about the quality of players that are coming on from the bench. If Nketiah starts, and I think he's going to start, Ricardo Calafori can always come in. Miles Kelly can always come in. Christian Mosquera can always come in. Mosquera can play any game in that line. Anywhere. That's fine. If you come to the midfield, You take out a Zubimendi and you bring on a Christian Nogard, a very, very fine player, former Brentford captain, played over 200 games for Brentford. If you take out Saka, you have your boy, Noni Madueke. Bear in mind that in the last 5 matches against Chelsea at the Emirates Stadium, Chelsea have scored only one.
Well, that's true. That's very correct. That's very true.
Was the only one that has scored against Arsenal in the last 5 matches at the Emirates Stadium. If you take out Trossard, for instance, you bring on Martinelli. Now, if you take out Gyökeres, which I don't think Mikel Arteta will do, considering the match against Tottenham, Kai Havertz is back.
Well, that's true. That's correct.
That's your nemesis right there. That's your nemesis. Remember what he did against Chelsea 5-0?
Well, that's
Remember the EFL second leg? Now, I have all I am saying.
Can I talk now?
The records show for themselves. The statistics show for themselves. You see, you can go all out, name that, okay, Arsenal, the forwards of Arsenal have not contributed too much in terms of goal scoring and assists. At least the level has not been what it used to be, right? But do Arsenal get the results? That's the question. Do they get the results that is needed? Yes. Why? That is why they are top of the league.
Oh, okay. Let's go back to Collins. Collins, I know you have to leave before 10, but go ahead.
Okay. I'm just going to say this. You see the way you were mentioning, players, you were mentioning your firepower. I mean, you uploaded you last night. You understand? Normally when you are mentioning attackers like that, you are supposed to be scared. You understand? Almost see players with this one, that one. There was no single element of fear in my body. Okay. Number one. I know the stats. You understand? I know the stats. We've not beat Arsenal like 8 games. Draw 2, lost 5. You understand?
Yeah, that's true.
I think we've only beat Arteta once. Only beat Arteta once, and that was 2-1. That was the second game. 2-1 in 2019. You understand? For Arsenal. And this Arteta. I know the stats. You understand? I've seen the stats. The stats are not pretty. They are not in Chelsea people, so I'm well aware of all these things. You understand? So that's the more reason why, if you mentioned 5-0, you mentioned a lot of past matches. Should I mention because that already, should I mention one will beat you 6-0? Should we go back into history? But we're not going to do that. Because that's more, it doesn't really matter. Now,
quick one. You say that you do not have any fear about Arsenal strikers. That's fine. Mention Bako Palmer, who is not obviously in form at the moment himself.
Let me
mention one attacker that can dismantle Arsenal. Mention one.
Okay.
I don't need. Hold on. As long as Arsenal. See, right now I'm looking at Arsenal attackers right now, and you know what I'm more scared of? I'm more scared of Madueke coming on and making a statement that maybe you guys they want to sell me or something. But Arsenal attackers,
in the course of this conversation.
Let me talk. Arsenal right now, I'm more scared of Declan Rice scoring from midfield than I am of Arsenal attackers. Right now, let's go to Chelsea. Which Chelsea attacker can? Which Chelsea attacker can?
Which Chelsea attacker can do the magic for you?
Which see, Joao Pedro is in the form of his life right now.
Well, that's
Pedro is in the form of his life right now.
That's true.
We just need 2 fast breaks. You understand? We just need 2 fast breaks. 2 fast breaks. You understand? Palmer, I don't need to advertise Palmer. Palmer ability speak for himself. I don't need to advertise the guy.
Boy has been poor in the last game.
The same Palmer that lost the one-on-one.
Hold on, Solomon.
Agree.
Hold on, Solomon.
We both agree that no matter how poor Palmer is, even if you wake Palmer up from sleep today and give him a football, he's going to do 1 or 2 things, no matter how poor he is. That's the kind of player Palmer. I don't need to advertise Palmer. Palmer is not Bukayo Saka. Palmer is not Palmer is not Madueke.
That's why he always be on the bench against Bukayo Saka in England. That's why he always be on the bench. You mentioned Palmer, you mentioned Joao Pedro. That's fine. I can mention all my attackers. There is not one of my even Mikel Merino,
See,
a
you know the funny
defensive
thing. You know the funny
midfielder,
thing.
Yes.
You
scored
know the
more
funny
goals
thing.
than
We don't
Hold on,
need.
someone. What's the point?
We
Go
don't
ahead.
need.
Mikel Merino
We
has
don't.
scored more goals than your attackers. Mikel
See the way
Merino,
you
a
mention
defensive midfielder,
mentioning
not
and the standard of it.
not
This is the problem. This is the problem.
I'm not
This is
about
the
to win.
because you don't have any attacker that has come up with the camera. That's why I'm going. You understand?
Do we get the
Okay.
result?
No, but hold on. Football is a team. Yeah, yes. Collins, in as much as I will agree with you that yes, the strikers hold on.
Tamayowa.
In as much as I will agree with you, the strikers need to step up. Defender scoring is also part of it. It's a team sport. But go ahead. You want to say something? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm telling you that the moment. I'm telling you that the moment. The moment.
One of the reasons why he's a legend is because he is the highest goal scoring defender in the
Well,
English Premier
Okay,
League history.
that's
that's fantastic. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, go
But
ahead.
Mr. Mayowa, I'm telling you that the moment we force Arsenal to go to rely on that match, but the moment it gets to the point where Arsenal have to rely on their centre backs to maybe get an equalizer or get an opener, we've won that game because it's a no-brainer. You understand? The moment I have to rely on Mikel Merino, Declan Rice, Zubimendi, you understand? Even their keeper to score. That's the moment it is finished. Because they've done it many times, you understand? They've done when they see that, like I said, Arsenal have many options. The firepower is there, but the way to utilize them is one is limited, you understand? And we've seen this over time. We look at Arsenal, we see the attackers and everything. Now, when I was mentioning players that can actually hurt Arsenal, I forgot the Oga Patapata of them all. You understand? I forgot the one that can absolutely destroy Arsenal. This one is a 1-1 army. I've mentioned him before. You understand? You are very familiar with him. He has destroyed Arsenal a couple of times. It's James. You understand?
Okay, Rich James, that's true. Rich James knows how to score goals.
James is perfectly fit. That's just no injury, nothing. I'm telling you that in Rich James' best day, it's going to turn to prime Laudini, prime Yashin, prime Roberto Carlos, prime James, prime Ronaldinho, prime Ronaldo.
Quick question.
Okay, quick question. Yeah.
First off, let me reiterate that you've spoken about Arsenal more on this score than you've spoken about Chelsea, but that's fine.
I think I don't talk about Chelsea.
Wait, two. Mention three games that with James that you just mentioned has stepped up against Arsenal. 3.
1-1. This was one. This was match. 1-1.
Well, that's true.
I remember
Rich James was very instrumental in that game. Yes, that's true. It's very correct.
1-1.
I don't know if you can remember. Was it which match was that where he beat you guys? Was it
What year
I think it was a cup game. It was a cup game.
I don't remember because he's nowhere to be found. You can mention the 1-1 game because you know it too well. We played 3 times this season. We've defeated you guys twice.
Well, in the cup.
Once.
In the cup, yes.
Was a win.
That was the cup. And
Because the way Chelsea fans celebrated that draw, you would have thought they won the match. Saying, assuming they don't collect red card, they would have destroyed.
Who is supposed to be? Who is supposed to be?
I saw Arsenal. They were one less, and they scored first before Arsenal.
They did not win the match, right? But they celebrated as though they won the match. After that match, after that match, they went on a poor run of form. Where are they on the league table right now?
Well, they are below Manchester United. They are below Manchester United.
I think Arsenal celebrated more than Chelsea did because they were begging for an equalizer, and we just say, okay, you guys should just take. Let's not be like you guys won't defend Chelsea. You guys were literally begging for an equalizer.
We always want to win our matches. That is the right thing to do. And bear in mind that same match that we drew, the first leg, if Timber had left the ball for Gyökeres would have won that match for Arsenal.
Well, that's very correct.
There are too many ifs. There are too many ifs. Chelsea had more chances than you. Chelsea have more chances than you.
No,
So there are too many
but Collins
ifs.
is right.
The last
But
time
but
you
but,
get
but,
Arsenal
but
in the English Premier League.
Solomon,
You cannot the
Solomon.
last time that you get Arsenal in the English Premier League.
Yeah. So Solomon, but Collins is right. Chelsea had a lot of opportunity in that particular game. They couldn't take their
He had
chances.
more chances than them.
And that was why Chelsea, and that was why Arsenal came back.
They did not have many opportunities. That's not true. They did not have many opportunities.
We had 11 attempts. You had 8.
How many shots on target did they have in that match?
Well, that's true. I thought it's not something that shot on target.
Having possession is not the same as creating chances, and
Well,
it's not
that's
the
true.
same thing
That's
on
correct.
target.
That's correct.
As you had possession is not the same
That's
thing
correct.
as you just had the possession of the ball. You could have had the possession of the ball in your half. Yes. You could have had more possession.
I remember the Alarm Football Arsenal played which day they were doing possession in their own half against a Wolves. They were doing possession in their own half against Wolves. So I remember the Alarm possession. So
possession is not the same as creating chances, and it's not the same as having shots on target, right? And again, I've given you the statistics. I'll give you much more statistics. Chelsea have played 14 matches at home, right? They've won 6, they've lost 2, they've drawn 6, right? They've drawn 6. Now Chelsea have played 13 away matches. They've played 13 away matches. They've won 6, they've lost 3, they've drawn 4, which means that their away record is terrible.
Well, that's true.
See, I'm very aware of this statistics.
No, but Collins, but Collins, if your away record is terrible and you are going away again, is that not going to be very difficult for you to navigate when your away record has been terrible? Yes, you might say you might be correct. Hold on. You might say this is not under Liam Rosner, it was under Enzo Maresca and the rest of that. But we are beginning to see the cracks. How do you throw away leads in your lead in 2 consecutive games?
Okay. I just saw Manchester United came back from 1 goal down to win 2-1 against Arsenal.
No, 3-2.
Yeah, sorry, 3-2. Sorry, 3-2. I'm not worried at all. See, it's like let us not win the game.
Yeah, Arsenal scored first. Okay, Zimbabwe. Okay, no, I think Arsenal scored second, if I'm not mistaken. Or Arsenal scored. No, Arsenal scored first. The own goal, then Mbemo, then Dogu, then you equalize, then Kunya.
Fair enough.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, our away record. I'm not see. Our home record is if we're talking of record, I think our home record is terrible compared to our away record. Yeah, we can see, but from the start, I'm seeing that we've dropped 17 points from home, from winning position at home alone this season. While away, we only dropped 2. So if you can, what is telling me, if I can take the lead against Arsenal are finished. If I can take the lead against Arsenal away, Arsenal are finished. So I'm not worried. See, I'm not Arsenal home and what this doesn't matter. I said it before at the beginning of the call. That Arsenal have footage they are playing against. They are playing against us mentally and they are playing against us physically. If they cannot beat us mentally, I'm not worried. If I let us play our beating game.
Okay.
I put it to you, Collins, that you like Arsenal more than you like Chelsea. This call has confirmed. The way you have mentioned
but I mean, he has been speaking so well about Arsenal, and to be honest, forget banter. I think unless you just hate Arsenal, you want to comment what Arsenal has done this season. That's just the truth. Forget the banter.
I also did say that Mark Cucurella is one of the best left backs in the Premier League. I said the same about Fofana, and I also said the same about Cole Palmer. On a good day, I think also that Caicedo is a very good midfielder.
True.
Without him doing the team kick and all of that, anyways. But I think that they're very, very,
So let's round it up because I know Collins has to leave by 10. He has some other engagement. I will start with Solomon.
Yeah.
What do you think the scoreline will be? Predictions now.
3-1 now. 3-1.
3-1, right? 3-1, right? 3-1. Collins, Collins, what do you think the scoreline will be?
1-1. I think I'm going to change my for the sake of 1-1. Yeah. Arsenal
One
not
one.
winning.
Mr.
Yeah.
Mayowa,
Yeah.
that 1-1 will not be recorded as a win when next we have this call. You will
Okay.
not come here and talk about how Arsenal attackers did not score because you said 1-1. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
No problem. We are going to have this
You know
conversation.
who will score the 1 goal?
Okay.
You know who will score the 1 goal? You know who will score the 1 goal?
Who?
Miss James.
Let's tell you how Arsenal will score that 1 goal. Not the attackers. The attackers will never see my this thing. You understand? Let me tell you how Arsenal will score the 1 goal.
As long
Defenders.
as we win,
Moses Caicedo will lose the ball in midfield. Moses Caicedo will lose the ball in midfield. Then that Rise will not tap it. Just one way to Sanchez will have come with the ball.
that is all
They're not going to.
as long as we win, that is all that matters. Whether my attacker score or not, leave that to me. I just want to win. Thank
Okay.
you.
Well, that's been fantastic. I enjoyed the back and forth. If not that, Collins has somewhere to be, would have probably continued this for almost 2 hours. But it has always it's been great having a two huge Premiership supporters there. Solomon, a huge Arsenal supporter, Collins, a huge Chelsea supporter. And thank you viewers for watching. It has been an exciting show. We'll see again on the next big match preview when we have fans of club come and slug it out. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for joining in. Thank you.
Have a wonderful day,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you.